Welcome back to our breaking update. A shocking incident that has been reported from Tamil Nadu, where a funeral procession of a 56-year-old Dalit woman was halted by authorities for attempting to pass through a common path. The Dalit community in the village has taken the common path for the procession instead of the mud road, which is usually used by them exclusively for this purpose. It is said that a part of the customary mud road that has been encroached upon later. Upon the suggestions from the police and the revenue officials, the funeral procession was carried out in the customary manner on that road. But this seems to have shocked the people, where when it comes to the funeral procession of a Dalit that was obstructed and for taking the common path, and that is the reason what is being said in this village in Tamil Nadu, people were raising questions, and that also led to the involvement of the police and the authorities there, as this is being reported from a village in Tamil Nadu where a funeral procession of a Dalit woman was halted by the authorities for attempting to pass through a common path, and the community in this village, which had taken the common path for the funeral procession instead of the customary mud road, which is used by them for this purpose, is said that the mud road had been encroached upon, and that is the reason they had to take the common path for completing the funeral procession. Later upon, when it comes to the suggestions from the police and the revenue officials, the funeral procession was carried out in the customary road. Dharani is with us right now. Dharani, in this day and age, we are looking at such kind of beliefs that are now coming across when it comes to a funeral procession that was halted in a village in Tamil Nadu.
So this happened in Tiruvannamalai district of Tamil Nadu, a Mottakkal village in Tiruvannamalai district of Tamil Nadu yesterday. So the funeral procession of a 56-year-old Dalit woman named Kiliyammal was halted by the police and revenue officials. When the villagers, members from the Dalit community, they tried to pass through a common path which is otherwise used by both the Dalits and the caste Hindus from the particular village. So we're given to understand through sources that the caste Hindus from that particular village, they did not have any direct objection to this funeral procession passing through the common path, but the police and the revenue officials, they halted the procession from happening through the common path because they anticipated some law and order issues. They wanted to avoid unnecessary law and order issues, so they had insisted that the members of the Dalit community carry out the funeral procession not in the common path but in a different mud path,
but
which is usually used by the
were the people there in the village who raised the objection? Who raised the objection?
Local sources say that
right now. Please to stay on with us, Dharani. Mr. Narayan Tirupati, in this day and age, we are looking at such kind of incidents that are being reported in a village in Tamil Nadu, sir. Funeral procession of a Dalit woman was halted because it was going on a common path and not on the mud road.
Correct. See, this is really atrocious. In this age, these things are happening, and that too, this government is calling themselves as a Dravida model government. And this is atrocious. Definitely, there has to be, the change should happen. And they call that they have refined and reformed the society, which has not yet been done. So Tamil Nadu, which they say that this is the social justice land, it's again proven that this government is unable to control all these activities. So I strongly condemn this, and I think the government should act, at least now.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Tirupati, for joining in. Yes, Dharani, if you can complete your point exactly that you were telling us who raised the objection.
From the ground, from the local village, they tell us that there was no direct objection from the caste Hindus for this funeral procession to go through the common path, but it was the police and the revenue officials who had come to the spot, and they insisted that there may be some law and order issues if this happens. So to avoid any kind of law and order issues, they insisted that the members of the Dalit community make the carry out the funeral procession in a mud road, in a separate road, and not through the common path. But the members of the caste, the caste Hindus in the local village, they did not raise any direct objection to it when the procession was going on.
But Dharni, that even raises more questions. If there was no objection, then why did the police or the authorities even intervene and ask the funeral procession to continue on the mud road? For how many hours or for how long was the procession halted?
Talks were held, with the members of the Dalit community and with the relatives of the deceased Akili Amal. So we're given to understand that there is a mud road in this particular village, the Motakal village, in which the Dalit members usually carry out these kind of funeral processions because, usually. But there has been, in the last few days, there has been a small encroachment in that particular mud road, and that is why this one time, the Dalit community members, they had decided to,
Upon the
to carry out
intervention of the police and the authorities there, the funeral procession was allowed, and as far as customary rituals, that were also followed. But here, when it comes to the BJP, as we are getting their reactions, they have been condemning such kind of action on part of the police in the state of Tamil Nadu. Thank you very much, Dharni, for joining in. We'll be back with more updates.